Welcome in to Season 2 of Good Morning Greyhounds, Episode 3. Caden Colford, Brayton Bowen, and here is our first guest today. We have head coach of the UIndy football team, Coach Chris Keevers. Last week, looking back to homecoming weekend, had a great game. Let's go ahead and take a look at how the Greyhounds did.
To worry about that here. Off to the races for a touchdown. John Lewis for the Greyhounds. Throws this one. Touchdown Greyhounds. But Bishop's got the legs if you want to run it, so he's good. Instead, Lewis, who spins his way, diving forward in. Might have all season. Both feet in. That's an NFL catch right there. Both good. It looks like you got both heels in. No matter what we ask him, really. Bennett lowers his shoulder, and Lenny Bennett's off to the races. Career touchdown number. Bennett outside, pushes himself forward, finds his way into the end zone for a UIndy touchdown.
59-17, the final score there at Key Stadium. Coach, looking over to you, some smiles watching your team play, watching them be successful. As you always say, it's fun to win. It's very fun to win. What does that statement mean to you?
We work very hard, and I learned a long time ago that you better enjoy each win because it's hard to win. So that's kind of stuck. That it's fun to win, and you better enjoy every victory and celebrate it because we're back to work on Sunday.
And Coach, piggybacking off of that, where do you feel, as your team is 5 games in, how do you feel that you guys are, have performed and are ready to go for this upcoming week with the tough road test?
We just keep getting better. And that's, I'm pretty happy with our team in terms of, we work really hard during the week and we just keep getting better. So are we where we need to be? No, but we're getting closer.
Awesome.
Alrighty. Thank you, Coach, for that. We're going to take a minute, step aside, reset some things here on the technical side. Thank you. Good morning, Greyhounds.
Are you feeling alone in your faith? UIndy Catholic gives you an opportunity to get involved in a religious community on campus, providing sacramental needs and fellowship for prospective students and giving you a sense of belonging.
We just want you guys to know that God loves you, He delights in you, and He's in awe of you. And we would love to meet you, so you should come on out.
UIndy Catholic, a community for you.
For children who may have high-functioning autism, may have ADHD, processing challenges, working memory issues, sensory integration issues, those types of challenges. It's a place where human beings are valued, children are respected. It's a progressive school that takes a hands-on approach to education.
We'll leave it to our actual athletes. Watch UIndy TV's live sports broadcast on GLVCSN and YouTube.
The first time I went to Lucas Oil was last year for the 6A Center Grove versus Carroll State High School football game. And I walk in this time thinking I know what's going on, thinking I know what's going to happen. And if I were to say that Lucas Oil lost any effect on you, just the pure vastness that it hits you when you walk in, I'd be wrong. And Jace put it perfectly. He walked in and said, wow. this is the dream, and it is, because the people that we look up to listen to a high school football game of the week on WICR HD3 UIndy Radio. Caden Colford, Britton Bowen, Coach Chris Keevers of the Greyhounds. We asked you, Coach, how you felt about where this team is at 5 games in. It's one thing's for certain, this team wants to be competitive week in, week out. What do you express to your team to keep them competitive on a weekly basis?
We're playing for something. We're playing for a championship, so we've invested a lot. So that's kind of what I tell them each week. We take it 1 week at a time, and we've put a lot into this. And we don't, and they could. Each team could take it away from us. So we're playing for a championship at 1 game at a time, and keeps them motivated.
And looking at your career, you've been a coach for, I don't know if you want me to say it, but around that 30-year mark. And you go all the way back to your playing career. Could you describe the path that you took out of high school?
Grew up on the east side of Indianapolis, went to a city school, didn't really go to school very much. Was recruited some. Purdue put me in a junior college in Kansas, and I played 2 seasons there in Kansas, and then at Coffeyville Community College. And then came back in January of my sophomore year, and then I started my last 2 years at Purdue. And then coached there, started coaching there. I coached there for 3 years after that.
Awesome. So what does the transfer portal do kind of as your job as a coach? Is it the same as it was when you were playing, or what's the differences there?
The transfer portal it can hurt you. And in terms of your own football team, people can leave, and we've had people leave. My philosophy is, love them up, coach them up, give them a great experience, but they, even you do that, you're still going to be guys that are going to leave. And then what we use it for is we fill in gaps, when guys get hurt, or if we're thin on some spots, you're able to fill in some gaps. We don't use it a lot, but we will get some transfers, and we've had some very good transfers. Our big thing is we go after transfers, they've got to have the academics. We're not going to recruit a low grade kid, and then they got to be UIndy fit. So, we're very we try to make sure we make the right decisions when it comes to picking the right young men to join our team.
Okay. And I could really imagine, as a coach, you have thousands of freshmen or prospective freshmen coming out of high school that you're looking at every year, not only here in Indianapolis, but in the surrounding states. So how does the scouting process for transfers differ from high school recruits?
We have one guy that does all the transfers. We bought a recruiting service that helps us with the portal, because the portal is very vague, and then we try to find our fits, and then he calls the guys up, and we set up the visits and everything. But it's different, because in high school, everybody goes out and goes to their areas and recruits the high schools and goes in and talks to coaches and sits down with the kids, and the process is pretty clean. With the transfer portal, it's phone calls, and it's a little not as clean, let's put it that way. Disorganized, and you're trying to, you're calling your friends at other places. Was he a good kid? Did he work hard? So you don't have you make quick decisions, and sometimes you make the wrong decision, but you try to find the right person, the kind of person you want. If you do that, usually, even if he's not a great player, he still fits in.
And Coach, you had a successful team last year, pardon me, but you went out and you said you got 6 or 7 guys. And I just wanted to ask you what the thought process was behind that. When some would think, you were GLVC champions last year, what's the need to go get those guys?
Well, we lost the best tailback in the nation, so we had to get one. We had to replace him. Mm-hmm. And, we had some guys in the program, but we thought we needed to upgrade that position. And same thing with the quarterback position. And, we got D lineman, we've got, DB. We just kind of, tried, long snapper and a kicker. And those guys have been fantastic for us. So, try to fill in voids and spend your money wisely.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Chris Keevers of the Greyhounds. Coming up next, the QB1 Gavin Sukup will be with me and Brayton on Good Morning Greyhounds.
Are you feeling alone in your faith? UIndy Catholic gives you an opportunity to get involved in a religious community on campus, providing sacramental needs and fellowship for prospective students and giving you a sense of belonging.
We just want you guys to know that God loves you, He delights in you, and He's in awe of you. and we would love to meet you. So you should come on out.
UIndy Catholic, a community for you.
For children who may have high-functioning autism, may have ADHD, processing challenges, working memory issues, sensory integration issues, those types of challenges. It's a place where human beings are valued, children are respected. It's a progressive school that takes a hands-on approach to education.
Welcome in once again to the set of Good Morning Greyhounds. Caden Colford, Brayton Bowen as your host today, and our newest guest and the newest QB1 wearing that number 3 in black as you saw for the Greyhounds, Gavin Sukup. Thank you for coming on today. I know you had to move your schedule around a little bit, revolving your weights and everything, so we really appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem. I'm glad to be here.
All right, so 6-7 weeks into classes. How would you describe your experience at UIndy?
It's been a lot of fun. I'm in some gen ed classes, just being a sophomore and stuff, so just having fun with that.
Yeah, good deal.
Could you talk a little about your recruitment process coming out of JUCO and why you chose UIndy?
Yeah, ultimately I chose UIndy because it was the right fit for me. I thought it was really good. I think it's the best decision I made in my life coming here. And I just knew I needed a place where I can continue to play football and have people that are going to, love me. And
yeah,
I really have that family culture, and that's really big here. We play for each other. I mean, Coach says we play for a championship, playing for something, but really, to me, I look a little deeper, and I play for the guy next to me. Play for the guys next to me. So.
And I've been with you guys on the bus for the past couple weeks, and one thing about this group that I've noticed, it's tight-knit. Like, the entire team was getting taped up in a Colton's off some highway in the middle of Missouri, right? So yeah. When you do that with someone, like week in, week out, those relationships definitely grow, and those bonds are great. But I'll let you take it back for us a little bit. Where are you from? Where'd you go to high school? And what were your goals for football coming out of school?
I went to high school in Stewart, Nebraska. It's like 10, 15 minutes outside Lincoln, Nebraska, where the Huskers play. So really, I didn't know if I was going to play college football. I kind of got done playing high school football and was like, man, I don't know what else I would do besides play football. So I just went from there.
As a student, both academically and socially, what's the biggest difference from JUCO to here?
Just the support of the football program, I'd say. Playing junior college, you don't get a lot of support. Financials, the student body, it's just, you just go play football. There isn't much to it.
And it's crazy to think that out of high school, you didn't know if you were going to be able to or going to play college football. So you end up going to the College of DuPage, right at the JUCO level. JUCO, there's definitely some dogs. Don't get me wrong. There are some dudes at the JUCO level, and I'm sure that every person that's played at that level can tell you that. But what's the jump from JUCO to the Division II level?
I'd say coaching is a big one. You don't have guys who are just haven't coached in years or have never coached and they're 35 or, I mean, not saying that there's guys that have never coached that are bad coaches, but it's just, you never know what you're going to get with coaching. And then consistency. Like you can have 3 guys who are really good players and can play really anywhere, and then you can have, 6, 7 guys that are just, inconsistent or just not as talented as.
No, I understand.
Could you talk a little bit about your season so far and your goals for the end of the season?
My goals are the team goals. I want to win a national championship, win a conference championship, and I just try and go in every week and just do my job. Coach said it before the game this week. He said the O-line's facilitators of playmakers. I look at myself as a facilitator of playmakers as well. My job is just get the ball into playmakers' hands.
And one thing I'll ask you, obviously you're QB1. That's pretty high pressure when it comes to a role in any athletic sport, right? Does that pressure ever get to you? Is it ever something that you think about, having the power that you have on this team?
No, not really, because I just do this stuff so much. I feel like I'm always watching football, watching myself, critiquing myself, just trying to be the best I can be. So when I step on the field, it's just second nature, really.
And how was that process for you, transferring out of JUCO? Was Division II something that you were shooting for? Was it just an opportunity that came about? Or did you reach out to UIndy, or did they reach out to you? What was that like?
Coach Engel, our OC, or pass game coordinator, he reached out to me, and we were talking for a long time, and I really knew when I came on my visit here that I really wanted to come here because of, not just because of him, but a bunch of other factors as well. But I really felt like we could have worked really well together, and it turns out I think we're doing an all right job working together. So.
Is there anything you like to do outside of football, kind of just to ease your mind and get the mind off it?
Yeah, I really like to hang out with my brother, hang out with my friends. I like to play Frisbee golf. That's something I do quite a bit. So not during the season, though, because probably not a good idea to be chucking Frisbees, trying to throw football.
For sure. All right. Thank you, Gavin. We're going to bring Coach back on in our next segment, but as for now, Caden Colford, Brayton Bowen, see you later.
Faith, UIndy Catholic gives you an opportunity to get involved in a religious community on campus, providing sacramental needs and fellowship for prospective students and giving you a sense of belonging.
We just want you guys to know that God loves you, He delights in you, and He's in awe of you. And we would love to meet you. So you should come on out.
UIndy Catholic, a community for you.
For children who may have high-functioning autism, may have ADHD, processing challenges, working memory issues, sensory integration issues, those types of challenges. It's a place where human beings are valued, children are respected. It's a progressive school that takes a hands-on approach to education.
Hot mic.
All right, back on. We're bringing everybody together. Caden Colford, Brayton Bowen's your host. And here on the couch, I'm sorry that we kind of made you guys, two bigger guys, squeeze on a smaller couch like that, but QB1 Gavin Sukup and his head coach in Keevers. This far into the season, how would you describe your relationship with each other?
I'm on the other side of the ball, so I give them some high fives and tell them hi, and I don't mess with quarterbacks. I learned that a long time ago in college football. When I was a young coach, they're like, don't ever talk to the quarterback. I went, got it. So I don't deal with him much. I talk to him as a friend, but not really anything about football.
So Gavin, as the quarterback, the title of QB1, does that role ever feel like you have a lot of pressure, or feel like the guys look at you as like, hey, this is our guy? What does that kind of feel like?
It feels good that the guys believe in me, but like I said earlier, I don't really look at it as a pressure situation because, like I said, I just do this stuff all the time and feel like I'm always watching and trying to get better. So.
And looking ahead, Coach, the first thing that you said when you walked in was, it's a big week. right? Because we look at this week's opponent in Truman State, and year in, year out, that's a tougher game. What does that mean for the Greyhounds?
You know, we're always 1 week at a time, but this is, you know, they're 6-0, they're 19th in the country, and they're Truman State. They're well coached, and they're a lot like us. I mean, they're physical. They have a bunch of good athletes, and they play hard. So it's always a good matchup. And our guys know what this game means, and we all get a little bit more excited about the game. So it's a fun week.
I'll ask you guys this. I think the UIndy defense, UIndy offense, obviously you guys on your respective sides there, I think they complement each other very well. Coach, on the defensive side of things, you give Gavin a lot of time with the ball. You take the other team's offense almost out of the equation every game. And I just kind of want to know, Gavin, how much free will do you have on the offensive side of things? How much of it is like, hey, Gavin, go do what you do?
As of right now, not a lot, just because I'm young and whatever play call we got on, I go out and I try and execute to the best of my ability. Where it really comes into my hands is when, I get antsy or get out of the pocket, or occasionally we don't necessarily maybe protect well, and then like extended plays is where it kind of gets into my hands.
Okay. And coming into this next game, what do you feel that needs to click for you to have success against Truman?
I just got to do my job. Every possession, every play, just do that to the best of my ability, and I think we'll be able to pan out well.
And Coach, whenever you go to a big, tough road environment, what's the message you give to your guys?
You've got to be mentally ready to play. And this game is not real hard to get. You're going to be excited about playing this game, and you just got to get focused on your job. We're not. It's a normal week. We're going to work hard. We're going to get better, and that's what we do each week. So you just don't want to get too high, but so you just kind of got to. It's all about getting the work done during the week, preparing. If you're prepared, you'll be ready to go.
Obviously, the transfer portal, big, not just in football, but every sport that you see here on campus. Brayton, you remember the UIndy's baseball team.
I am.
How does a transfer kind of insert themselves into the culture of the team?
I would say a transfer, it's almost difficult unless you're like a true, graduate transfer coming from another NCAA school, or, we have some junior college guys on our team too, just like Gavin. And I think you have to do your best to welcome those guys and make them feel like they are, impact players, no matter if they're young, whether if they're graduate students. And I think a good transfer is just about one of the best things that a coach can ask for, a guy that can come in that you don't need to ask to lead, you don't need to ask, put their best effort forward. They're mature players 99% of the time, and so I think, it's just best case scenario.
And Gavin, would you say it's hard as a transfer to kind of insert yourself into the mix, especially coming in to a quarterback battle where talking with you, Coach, seemed like 4 guys really had a running in that spot? Is it hard to kind of insert yourself as a leader on the team?
Yeah, it's definitely challenging, but when you step into a good program and get the opportunity to play in a good program, if you love football, everything is going to really fall into place.
I think that's one thing that can really bring this team together is a passion that they have, not only for the sports, but for the team that they play on, for the community that they play in. And I'll ask you guys, what would you say is the culture of Greyhound football?
It's a family. It's a family. It's guys that care about each other, guys that communicate, guys that work out problems, guys that support each other. That's the biggest thing. Like, he came in and just worked his tail off and would grab receivers and throw every day, and really just kind of jumped into the culture, and people respected the way he worked. Stayed all summer, didn't go home, But we have guys that are that are going to welcome you, that are going to treat you well. They're high achievers, great kids. It starts with recruiting. Like I told him, we're not going to take a transfer that's not a fit. It's all about finding the right fit. You got a bunch of kids that care about each other and work together and support each other. Good things are going to happen.
We had one particular fan in attendance at the game on Saturday. Dr. Tanuja Singh, the president, here at the University of Indianapolis. What does it mean for you two to have her in attendance at your game?
Well, she came and spoke to our recruits before. We had 50 recruits in before the game, and she came and spoke. I love her energy. I love her vision. The way she talks. She's a leader. She's a natural leader. Very excited about her, and really excited to get her support. She's come out to practice before, and we filmed some commercials and had some fun. I am just very impressed with our new president.
Alrighty. Thank you two for coming on. Thank you, Brayton, for coming on as well. My name's Caden Colford. That does it for us as of now, but we caught up with Dr. Knusha Singh, have an interview with her on Good Morning Greyhounds.
For those of you who out there who don't know who you are, how did you get to UIndy? Where did you come from? How did you get to this position you're in right now where you're leading the entire community?
Well, I'm delighted to tell you that. So I got to UIndy from Loyola University, New Orleans. I was the provost and senior vice president for academic affairs there. And what brought me to UIndy was this exciting place, Indiana, of course, Indianapolis, and the great students that we have here and the great faculty that we have here and the growth that's happening in the city and indeed around the state. So that is why I'm here. And I'm really looking forward to leading this university into our next phase of greatness.
That one caught by the Greyhounds will move forward a little bit. So you've been here for the first few months. You started in May, is that correct?
Started July 1.
Started
July 1, yes.
So in your short time here with this UIndy community, what are your first impressions on what the school has?
The school has absolutely fabulous world-class programs. If you look at every single discipline from our health sciences to our business to our engineering to our arts and sciences, we have world-class programs. We have very, very strong athletics, as you can see, and we have a great team spirit. It's a great community. The brand equity of this university is fantastic in the community. Everybody knows UIndy, and we are going to make it well known even beyond the immediate borders of the city and the state. And what I've also noticed, we have amazing faculty. We have people that care about it. The connections go generations deep, as you see today here. We have seen families come from far and wide, and I'm hearing grandparents, parents, grandchildren going to this university. So all that and our connection with the community, both the business and the not-for-profit and the government are very strong, and we are building on those as well.
So you're starting in your first year. What are some of the goals that you're trying to accomplish here, in your first few months with the school?
One of the first things we have to do and do more of is build even better partnerships with the community here. We are well known, but we should be having these very intentional partnerships with all the businesses, with the hospital systems, with the government. And the other one is that we bring in students from about 70 countries to this to Indiana and Indianapolis, and our goal should be to expand our offerings even beyond the borders of just Indiana and bring more and more students here. The other one is we have to be providing the opportunity for people who want to be lifelong learners, and we should be the place to go to when people think about continuing their education or coming back for the other degrees and continuing with their career path opportunities.
I love it. There's so much excitement having you here, having you on campus, being able to grow what this school has already been able to accomplish of late, but it's really exciting to have you on. Again, thanks for talking to us.
Absolutely.
And enough of my barrage of all these pointed questions. How about we talk about some fun things? What are your favorite places to eat here in town so far?
Oh, well, lots and lots of them. I haven't seen all of them, but practically anything on Michigan. But there's one that I recently went to called Salt, which I like a lot.
Interesting.
Yes, it's very nice. And, of course, St. Elmo. And there's one, I live in Noblesville, and there's one place called Nest, which I really like a lot. And but anything when you talk about, lots of places around downtown, and I'm still exploring a lot of them.
Well, what an introduction to Indianapolis, living in Noblesville and having all that traffic you have to deal with every day. I'm sorry about that. I'd like to say it's an anomaly, but it's part of what we've got going on here. So as far as, in your free time, what are some of your favorite hobbies?
When I have the free time, I love to travel. I have been to more than about 40 countries.
Wow.
I read a lot, and I just like exploring, lesser-known places. So excited to do that here as well.
Are you a football fan?
A little bit. I'm becoming one. I'm really a big fan of our own team.
Oh, yeah.
They are doing awesome. And I also went to a Colts game just recently, and that was a good game. So I like football, but I think I'm becoming an even better and bigger football fan, particularly our team.
It's definitely easy to root for these guys when they have so much success.
Yes.
Drew, do you have anything?
I do not.
It's a pleasure talking to you. Thanks again for coming up here, spending some time with us. Really excited to have you here on campus. Thanks for everything.
Well, thank you very much for having me.